by the way. Also, the nervous system tells me to function. But the outside of those two things, or trauma, is blood and lymph, the two fluids that directly affect me. Ever notice when you have constipation you don't feel good? Well, most people have constipation of another kind, a major other kind, called lymphatic constipation. I coined a new word. It's called interstitial lymphatic constipation. Simply means your lymph system isn't moving anywhere fast, and the inflammation is the end result, or acidosis, in other words, is the end result. You see this a lot in the GI tract wall, giving you IBS, Crohn's, cancers, polyps, and all kinds of things. Acid refluxes from that sort of scenario. So understanding the two sides of chemistry. 0 to 7 is the acid side. Battery acid has a pH of 1. Stomach acid, 1.8 to 2. Coca-Cola, 2.5. And most soda pops, 2.5 to 3. Gatorade, 2.85, according to the Minnesota School of Dentistry. Well, that's supposed to be a rehydrating drink. Again, more fraud, more people that don't care, and that's too bad. I think the National Football League got wind of that, and I think now there's some problems with that. Because if you're out there working out and you're running and you're beating the pavement, you create a lot of acids. Now, you've got to get those out. We call it rehydration. So this is a little bit of a long video, but if you get this, you will have a great understanding of the human body. So I'm going to just to show you one other thing is chemotherapy has a pH of 1 to 2. The older chemo was much more like battery acid. The newer chemo is more like hydrochloric acid. It'll still chew your cells up. So let's see, what damages a cell? Well, in chemistry, the acid side, obviously. Even CNN ran a special years ago and went to a chemist and asked him about cancer. Anybody that doesn't know what causes cancer right now, shame on you. Because it's easy to understand that. Cancer is not a disease. It's a damaged cell. What damages cells? Well, there are only two sides of chemistry, and both sides can't hurt you. Only one. That's the acid side. The ironic thing here is that you die on your own waste. But these acids must be neutralized in a timely manner. So chemotherapy is about 10 to 30 times hotter than the acid that damage the cells. Most cellular acids, like phosphoric, carbonic acids, are about 3 pH. So imagine the acid that damaged your cells and caused it to become an atypical or cancer cells about 3, and they give you a chemotherapy of 1.5 to 2. Make sense? It's criminal. So one day they will be going to jail for doing this. Don't ever think. Jane Velez Mitchell made it sound like chemotherapy was God's next best drink. Well, then you take it, Jane, and I guarantee you're not going to be a happy camper. Because, as I said in my other videos, most people die from it. Not what you said, where most people live from it. That is misinformation and a bald-faced lie. Most of these experimental chemotherapy groups, most people die in them. So those few that survive, good, I'm happy. But start fixing the problem, because your potential of it coming back is big time. Because it doesn't move on you. You damage more cells. That's another interesting concept. Your cells pop out of one tissue and move into another tissue, causing cancer there. I mean, there's a lot of crap out there, guys. A lot of misinformation, a lot of lies, a lot of stupidity. And if you buy into it, you're going to get yourself in trouble. So keep it simple. The body's nothing but a bunch of cells. The two major fluids control the health of the cells. And there's only two sides to chemistry. Understand the acid side of chemistry. So I'll close this video by saying that you must change your diet to a lot of fruits and vegetables, which is predominantly the base chemistry. Get away from the dead animals, the beans, the grains, all this crap that somebody said was good for you. The dairy products, which superclog the lymph system. This stuff is horrible. And these groups that make it are just out for the money, because there's nothing healthy about it. There's nothing healthy about milk. Not at all. You want calcium from it? How come we can say one glass of fresh squeezed orange juice has more calcium than probably 8 glasses of milk? That's because when we pasteurize milk, we just bonded the chemistry and you can't even get the calcium out of it. And the milk is not a digestible food after age 2. That's if it's your own mother's. Even human infants can't digest raw cow's milk. That's why you see a lot of people going to raw goat's milk. Still, after age 2, I've got infants so full of cancer, I've got to get them off of all milks at age 1. Serious problems. We have children with brain cancers and all of this. That's because they're born not filtering their lymphatic system. And you must move your sewer system in your body. That's all there is to it. So dig more into that. I've got a book on the market. It gets deeper into this. We're trying to get everything on the website for you. But understand how simple the human body is and take care of it. Health is a base chemistry experience. And detoxification, of course, is the process of cleaning the lymph system. You must clean that lymph system. You must get it moving. I'll throw one little other thing to you, and that's what anionic and cationic means, just for those brainers out there. Acids create an anionic environment. That's a dehydrated environment. That's an environment of coagulation of fluids. Things dry up in you. You become dehydrated. Go to a nursing home. One door after another. Acidosis, acidosis, acidosis. And then they march them down for an acid meal. They never come out of that. I love to pull people out of nursing homes. It freaks out the medical doctors. Because you can regenerate tissue. I don't care how old you are. Don't ever think you have no hope, because that's ridiculous. My problem is I've had to clean up the mess from the American Medical Association for years. And the stuff I've seen just makes me want to throw up. So important to keep your health and don't hurt your body too much, because the deeper and the more you break down your cells, the harder it is to get you back, because your human body is all about the cell, and the two fluids take care of the health of the cell. A cationic environment is an alkaline or base chemistry experience where you start detoxifying. It starts rehydrating and moving these fluids. Takes a while. Your lymph system is miles long, and the longer you've been acidic, the more coagulated and dried up you get. Fibroids, tumors, cysts, boils, pimples. This is all the lymph system. These aren't blood clots. You've got a lymph, you've got blood clots. So be careful with this. And I'll give you one other story here. This was a lady that she was 67 years old. She lived in her van. She lived in McDonald's parking lots and Walmart parking lots. She had a breast cancer. Now, you can do a mastectomy or a lumpectomy, okay, but don't do radiation chemotherapy on top of it, because you're asking for the cancer to come raging back, because you just damaged a whole lot more cells, and in many places. Radiation has come, a lot of women come in here with lung cancer because of radiation treatments. And there's a lot of leukemias, of course, created from chemotherapy. So you're creating more problems for your body, and sometimes to the point where we can't save you. So don't destroy the body too much. So they removed her breast, and they charged her so much money she didn't have any money left, so she had to live in her van. And I'm explaining to her that her breast is nothing but a bunch of cells and two fluids, that they drain their lymph system into these axillary bed of lymph nodes and then hop and skip and jump out this right kidney. She looked at me and she said, you know, they removed my right kidney. I said, honey, that's where your problem was all along, was in the kidney, not in your breast. That was the effect of the problem. She looked at me and she lifted up her dress, and her right leg was this big, elephant leg. And I said, oh, honey, they didn't connect your lymph vessels. In other words, she had major lymphedema. She looked at me and she says, you know, I'm going to die, aren't I? I said, well, honey, I don't know. I can fix kidneys even if they're hanging by a string, but they removed them. So I never saw her again. She probably died in a McDonald's parking lot somewhere. You know, sad stories. And I've got a book full of them. A book full of them. Stupid stuff. Learn detoxification. It's an art. I'm going to do a video on detoxification and show you the art of it, because it's a process. Sometimes fun, sometimes not so fun. But it still is the light at the end of the tunnel for you guys. So keep yourself well. Eat predominantly fruits and vegetables. Stay away from the cooked foods as much as possible. Get rid of the dead animals and the dead animal milks. Eat healthy. Eat fruit and berries and melons predominantly. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.